Hey there, it's Beth from Inspiring Young Learners, and I wanted to share with you how I see these modification task cards being used and how this can really help you out. Sometimes a visual will help bring this to life. So I'm going to just quickly show you how you can use all three sets of these differentiation task cards for ELLs. Now, these are perfect for you if you find yourself struggling to know how do you differentiate for the needs of your ELLs and how do you do it in a way that's fast, easy, and you're not writing different lesson plans for all your students. Especially if you do content area lessons and you're looking for ways that you can differentiate them for those students, this will be helpful for you. So let's dive in. I want to show the example if you were teaching your whole class all about the solar system. How can you use these task cards to differentiate for all the levels in your class? Well, in just a matter of minutes, you can have them all set up. So let's say that I'm going to use this book as a read aloud with all my students. Now, for the majority of my students, I already have an assignment ready to go that they'll be working on. But I have a few beginner ELLs in my class, some intermediate, and some advanced. And the advanced might be able to do the assignment that all the other students are doing, but they might need some differentiation and some modifications. And so after I do this read aloud, what I would do is I would plan this beforehand, but I would have my differentiation task cards, and I would come up with an activity that would be using these task cards, one of the task cards, because these are perfectly aligned with the language level of those students. So if I have a newcomer student and we just read this book, then I might sit down with that student one-on-one while the other students are working on the other assignment that I have for the whole group, and go through this and say, can you point to the, and beforehand I might even write out 5 words that I want them to point to so that in the moment I am already set, ready to go. I'm not coming up with anything, everything's already planned. So I might write down the word planet, sun, solar system, galaxy, and walk through the book with them and see if they can identify any of those things. So that would be for a beginner, a newcomer. That's a great activity for them to do. Now, if you want to find something that they can do that is not one-on-one, that you don't have to sit with them, you might give them a worksheet of the different words you talked about and then have them circle those words or those pictures. So maybe giving a page with a bunch of different pictures on it and having them circle the planets or circle anything that they saw in the book. Those are really great activities for a newcomer student. And you can see using these cards kind of spark those ideas, and then you can prepare it beforehand and be ready to go. If you're looking for just language activities with a newcomer, you can, there's some really fun games. So if you have vocabulary cards, anything like this, get a set of vocabulary cards and you can just ask them some questions, thumbs up, thumbs down. The visuals really help. Do you have the dolphin? Yes or no? And so you can use these to work on just regular language activities as well. Those are our beginner cards. So now let's move on to our intermediate cards. So again, using the same story that I read with the entire class, I might ask them to let's see, can you recall information about the solar system, or be really specific? Can you recall information about the planets orbiting? Whatever you're looking for, but really honing it in on one specific detail. And so maybe if the rest of your class is doing a worksheet that's just too difficult for your intermediate students, but you want them to stay on topic, giving them this simple starter and getting them thinking about it, writing about it, even if it's an oral response, that's a great way for them to do content. You could also, can you create a? So this is a great one because then it's so open-ended and you can decide whatever you want, how that could how you could use this with your lesson. So it's really just to spark some ideas and help you see, oh, this is a really good activity for that language level, and I'm differentiating to meet their needs quickly. Then if we go to our advanced students, and a lot of these you could use them for your entire class. So can you give your opinion about? whether Pluto should be a planet or not, something that you read about in the book. Or can you define these words? So maybe the activity you're doing at the whole class isn't appropriate for your advanced ELL, but you could have already written out 5 words that you want that student to work on and to define in their own words. And so you can just give them this card when it's time to work independently and you're all set and ready to go. Another quick thing is this is really great if you are an ESL support teacher and your homeroom teachers that you work with are feeling really overwhelmed and stressed with how to differentiate. Well, you can help kind of do some of those modifications, and I laminated mine, but you could just print them and write on there and staple this to the activity or the worksheet that you're doing with it, and then all of a sudden you can send that kid back to class with the worksheet already modified, ready to go, and it's going to really help build a really great community between you and the homeroom teacher, and it's going to help you know that that student's getting the support they need when they're in the homeroom classroom. So those are a few ways that you can use these differentiation task cards for ELLs. There are a bunch of different ideas for all 3 levels. So I've laminated mine, put them on rings, and something you can keep right by your lesson plan book so differentiation can be done really quickly and easily. Please let me know if you have any questions or want to see more of how I would use these in my classroom. You can follow me on Instagram at Inspiring Young Learners, and I'll be sharing more about these there too. Bye for now.